plans for after the, sure, you've got to do Tri-Series and then New Zealand Championships, but you aspire to go anywhere else and stuff and do some other things?
Yeah, well, I've got a bit of a dream of following in the footsteps of Shane and Al Hoogie over in America. That seems really exciting for me, and we've got a bit of a plan in place for how we get there.
Yeah, it's floated everyone's boat, hasn't it, their success, and huge shout out to Shane O. He's at Brands Hatch today doing that final round, unfortunately without Damon Rees. Here we go, clean start. This was a tiger of a race in one of the other ones, man. It's Gilmore, Durning and Stroud were climbing into each other and doing some pretty good little lap times. They quite sneaky there, the young fellas, eh? Little Jesse didn't show what he had, and then he came around and pipped Caleb in that first one. He thought he had him.
Yeah, well, interestingly, I've raced against a few of these guys, and they've only been in the sport for such a short time. It's mega to see they're right at the pointy end. And interestingly as well, we're all on Yamahas in the front row of this race.
So down into turn 4 there, and I think it looks like Gilmore's got out of the blocks and into front. Look at that big Valentino Rossi leg, eh?
Yeah, Caleb's been doing some riding down in Christchurch as well. He's actually got a Yamaha R3 down there and up here as well, so he can fly in and fly out.
And he's been signed up for Connor London's new little race team and stuff as well, so that's going to be cool, up onto the 400 Kawasaki.
And he's on the Flash new R3 for Nationals, I believe, with the upside-down forks.
Oh, trick. So there we go, he's trying to break them straight away, isn't he? He's put in a beautiful first lap, and he's got a little bit of a gap. So it's Gilmore, Durning, Stroud, straight away at 20. Huge fields here today, so we have Gilmore, Durning, Stroud, Bryn, Smith, Parker. Great work. Parker's on the move. He's up to 6th position. Wilton, Boyd, Greg Percival there in 9th position. Leslie, May, Cook, Finlay, Box, and Stella's making up our top 15. So touching on the Australian thing, Caleb's been over in Australia racing and had quite a bit of success too.
Yeah, I think it shows when we've got riders overseas and they come back, they tend to do some damage over here. You know, you've seen that with Richie. You know, he did some testing and racing over there last year, sorry, and came back over to New Zealand and was right up the front.
Definitely, I was fortunate enough to go over, and that was be my warm-up. I raced all of our winter in Australia, and then we'd come back and I was super duper hot, straight into the Nationals, and then just climb into it from there. So yeah, everyone's sort of come along and doing the same thing, like you said, Richie.
Yeah, it's something that that does interest me. If we can make it work, I'd love to see if we could reap some of the rewards of the Australian racing and come back to New Zealand, hopefully super sharp next year.
So this one here, I'd really like to see Dylan Byrne get in there with them. He's just off the back, and he couldn't quite get in there in the other ones, so hopefully he can work his way up there. He's doing good enough lap times, so it's one of the things that I say to riders as well, is get a good start and position yourself to give yourself an opportunity to win the race at the end. You don't get the points for leading every lap, and that's what little Jesse Stroud did in one of the races, scooting up and then picking the pocket of Caleb Ralph.
And a shout out for Liam watching down in Taupo from Mr. Chris Costello. I believe he's watching on Ctas today.
A huge thank you there to Ctas. They do a sterling job there, putting this on the internet. If you can't make it along to the race meetings, try to get along, because you'll see racing like this. We've got Gilmore, Durning and Stroud very, very tight. And there we go, straight down into the 16s as well. So Byrne there is joined in, and great ride there. Sean Parker, he's holding on to 5th position. So Smith, Wilton, Boyd, Percival coming through there in 9th position. Leslie 10th, May 11th, Cook, Stellas, Finlay and Box. We have multiple races in this race. We have Pro Lights, Super Sport 300, F4, F5 buckets, Post Classic Intermediate Junior race as well. So who's your money on for this one, Tarvin?
Caleb's been running the consistent times out the front, but some of the guys are certainly knocking on the door.
Definitely, yeah. And that shows with the like bringing out like Peter Hickman and Cooper was a very special person for me that came out, and it showed that we do a pretty good job over here, the races on our tracks. Like sure we do spend a fair bit of time on these tracks. This is the environment, and here we go. Oh, that's side by side, that's good racing.
Three wide into turn one.
That's cool stuff, man. Here we go.
They're swarming into turn two.
And the cool thing about one of the other races is they were coming up on some back markers as well, so they were crisscrossing, and man, this is exciting racing. Watch down here into turn 4. Caleb loves the little inside dive bomb, but then you do have to protect yourself and get a nice little drive up the hill, because here's the next little spot that they're going to have a go at, and I'll scoot down the inside down into barrel. So they're all pretty well behaved this lap. They're going to let Luca have a go at leading this time. But we've only got 2 laps to go.
The track at the moment here at Hamptons is probably the best it's been that I can remember. It's been cut up a little bit in the last couple of years, but it's actually in really fantastic condition.
So turn 2, they said that they'd done some repairs and stuff in turn 2, looking pretty good in there.
Yeah, we've been testing the grip into there, and no troubles yet. So they're doing a really good job of.
Here we go, white flag time. 2.5 abreast. So Gilmore there, he's just scooted, and Luca Durning and Stroud. So it can be anyone's race, this one. They've been trying everything. Oh. So leading down to there, Gilmore from Durning. He's holding on to second, great thing. But he can't count out little Jesse as well. This is some pretty good racecraft here. Easy, oh, down the inside. Easy riding one-on-one, so if you're having a dust-up with just one other rider, but when you've got 2 people, a little bit harder, isn't it? You got to try and figure out what both of them are going to do. If you do a nasty move to one and go down the inside and block them, then the other one's going to square you off, won't it?
Yeah, the other thing on these little bikes is the slipstream's so important. It brings everyone into contention if you can get in that tow, and makes for really exciting racing. Especially
when you've got the weight of Jesse in there as well.
Yeah, I used to race Jesse on the Jnr 150s, and yeah, it was the weight advantage for sure.
Definitely, in the run to the line here. Great race, this one. Oh,
that's going to be tight.
Oh, I don't want to pick that one. That's nasty.
I think Luca might have just edged it. Yeah.
Poor old Caleb there. He's had his pocket picked twice now, so great for us to commentate and great to watch. Luca Durning there taking out that race win from Caleb Gilmore. Jesse Stroud, great racing there. Good to see Dylan Byrne there busting it and hanging onto the back. 5th place, Sean Parker, great ride. He's just continued on from his Hamilton racing and stuff. We've got Craig Smith there in 6th, Richard Boyd in 7th, Wilton there in 8th. Percival's coming round to get the checkered flag. So we have junior, you can see, up to 8th position. We have junior Super Sport 300s, and then it's great ride there for Cameron Leslie. Touched on his success before in the Pro Light 250 class. Fresh to the sport, great little up-and-coming rider there. Lauren May there, great ride as well. Those two in 10th position and 11th position on track have get 1st and 2nd in the 250 class. Ben Cook there also, he's in 13th position. Finlay 14th, and 15th is Colin Box. Thanks a lot, Tarvin, and best luck for the up-and-coming race season, mate.